Every day we use maps, GPS, satellite image, and location-based apps. But have you ever wondered why some information can be shown on a map while other information cannot? The answer lies in two fundamental types of data used in GIS: spatial data and non-spatial data. Imagine you are looking at a list of schools in a city. The list contains the school names, principal names, number of students, and annual results. This information tells you everything about the schools. But there is one important thing missing. Where exactly are these schools located? This brings us to one of the most fundamental concepts in GIS: the difference between spatial data and non-spatial data. Before we understand GIS, we first need to understand these two types of data because every GIS project is built using both of them working together. Let's start with non-spatial data because it is easier to understand. Non-spatial data, also called attribute data, describes the characteristics or properties of an object, but it does not tell us where that object is located. Think about your school ID card. It contains your name, roll number, class, age, blood group, and phone number. All this information describes you, but nowhere does it tell someone exactly where you are standing right now. That is non-spatial data. Information without location. Similarly, imagine a hospital database. It may contain the hospital name, number of doctors, number of beds, ownership type, and emergency contact number. These are all attributes, but they don't tell us where the hospital is located on Earth. Now let's understand spatial data. Spatial data is information that tells us the exact geographic location of an object on the Earth's surface. Unlike non-spatial data, spatial data answers questions like: where is it? What is its position? How far is it? What is nearby? And what surrounds it? For example, instead of simply saying city hospital, spatial data tells us that the hospital is located at a specific latitude and longitude, or at a particular position on a map. Now the hospital can actually be displayed inside GIS, because the software knows exactly where to place it. You can think of spatial data as giving every object an address on the Earth. Every school, road, river, building, forest, mountain, and satellite image has a geographic location. That location is what makes the data spatial. The easiest way to remember this is: non-spatial data describes the object. Spatial data locates the object. Let's understand this with another simple example. Imagine someone asks you about a restaurant. If you say, the restaurant serves Indian food, has a 4.8 star rating, is open until 11 p.m., and costs around $500 per person, you are describing its attributes. This is non-spatial data. But if you open Google Maps and point to the restaurant's exact location, that becomes spatial data. Notice something interesting. The restaurant is the same. Only the type of information has changed. One tells you what the restaurant is. The other tells you where it is. Now let's see how both types of data work together inside GIS. Imagine a city map showing hundreds of schools. Each school appears as a point on the map. That point is spatial data because it stores the school's location. But when you click on that point, a table opens showing the school name, number of students, principal board affiliation, pass percentage, and contact details. All this information is non-spatial data. So every feature inside GIS usually consists of two parts: a geographic location and a set of attributes. Neither one is complete without the other. Now let's look at different examples. A road on a map is spatial data. Its road name, width, speed limit, surface type, and number of lanes are non-spatial data. A river shown on a map is spatial data. Its water quality, discharge, pollution level, and flow rate are non-spatial data. A forest boundary is spatial data. Its tree species, biomass, Carbon storage and average rainfall are non-spatial data. A crop field is spatial data. Its crop type, soil moisture, fertilizer requirement, NDVI value and expected yield are non-spatial data. Notice that every real-world object has both location and descriptive information. This is exactly how GIS represents our world. Now let's understand why spatial data is so powerful. Suppose a government wants to build a new hospital. If they only have non-spatial data, they may know the population of each district, average income, and number of existing hospitals, but they still don't know where people actually live. By adding spatial data, GIS can map villages, road, rivers, population density, existing hospitals, and travel distance. Now planners can answer much more advanced questions. Which villages are more than 20 kilometers away from a hospital? Which location provides the fastest emergency response? Which areas have the highest population but the fewest healthcare facilities? These questions are impossible to answer using non-spatial data alone. Now let's see another example from agriculture. A farmer has information about soil nutrients, moisture content, crop variety, fertilizer use, and yield history. This is useful information. But unless each value is linked to a location inside the field, the farmer cannot identify which areas need more fertilizer or irrigation. When these measurements are connected to GPS locations, they become spatial data, allowing precision farming to apply resources only where needed. This saves water, reduces fertilizer use, lowers costs, and increases crop production. Remote sensing also depends heavily on spatial data. Every satellite image contains millions of pixels. Each pixel has an exact geographic location on Earth, making it spatial data. The brightness value stored inside each pixel, whether it represents vegetation, water, soil, or temperature, is attribute information, or non-spatial data. Together, they allow scientists to monitor forests, glaciers, floods, urban growth, crop health, and climate change. Now let's summarize the main differences. Spatial data tells us where something is located, while non-spatial data tells us what that object is like. Spatial data contains coordinates, geometry, and geographic position, while non-spatial data contains names, numbers, categories, measurements, and descriptions. In reality, GIS is powerful because it combines both types together. Without spatial data, you have information but no location. Without non-spatial data, you have locations but no meaning. Spatial data can be displayed on a map, while non-spatial data is usually stored in tables or databases. Spatial data allows distance analysis, routing, overlay, buffering, and spatial relationships, while non-spatial data supports reporting, filtering statistics, and attribute analysis. Only when both are connected can GIS answer complex geographic questions and support real-world decision-making. So the simplest way to remember the difference is this. Spatial data answers, where is it? Non-spatial data answers, what is it? And when these two are combined, GIS transforms ordinary information into intelligent geographic knowledge that helps us understand, analyze, and manage the world around us.